Damn. Like, give me a second. Damn. Well, go on in, Ollie. How are you? How was the wait? Oh. Mm-hmm. How? Oh yeah, you said that in the Discord. No internet is hard. I mean, we had like no Figma for the whole. I mean, not the whole day, but like a lot of the day was without Figma, which isn't the greatest thing when you are a designer. It doesn't make a lot of sense. But at least, if now you have the internet running, that's good, I guess. I really need to clean these Discords. I'm spamming everywhere, but then I hate to see me spamming in the same channel like back to back. And that's actually the case on some of these Discords. So I'm like, I need to clean up. We need to clean up all of that. I think camera is okay-ish. So we have assignments to do officially for today, but Oli, you said that you had like an idea of an improvement or different way of doing the assignment Tuesday thingy. So we can take a look at that. That's a first thing. And then, I mean, we also have other stuff that can happen, could happen. Damn, I clicked on the wrong thing again. I mean, we can be here. Yeah, camera is not good. Yots. 1/60, and then here. No, the other way. Dumbass. 500. No, that's all exposed. Okay, good. Fine. I say it's fine. It's not the best one. Yeah. What about if I do that? Nothing happened. Something happened. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. Yeah. So I wanted to go in some of the things that I liked on Twitter because there are things that are interesting that I picked up, and specifically there is one thing for today's assignment that I'm like, damn, that would be amazing. So I'll show you that. And then there are other things that just make sense, like this one and this one from yesterday. I know you can't see my screen, but I'm just saving tweets, saving tweets. So this is what I have in mind for the assignment for today. And it's pretty easy. You are not a staff anymore. That's what happened. That's why you were logged out. You've been fired. Because you shared too much about the features, but they didn't tell you. Weird way to notice that you've been fired, but yeah, I get it. uh, but yeah, now I'm thinking about this for the assignment. So we have 4 of them. I think the first one is the best one and the easiest to achieve overall, because these ones are not really circular. Like this one is almost a perfect circle, and I'm thinking about creating these with the least amount of layers possible. So this would be, in my eyes, this could be 1 layer. So if we can achieve this with 1 layer, that would be pretty neat. I'll see what I can do, but yeah, I think that's the assignment for today, right? Unless we have a change of heart and then better things to do, right? But on another note, what I kept on the side, there is this person who created this, like, as they call it, UI enhancement, which I feel like is very interesting in terms of potential, the thing that you can do with this, right? So right now it's like a dot small, dot medium, dot large for action sheets in either selection or whatever. And so the large is the usual that we are all used to see. However, if you go to the dot small, maybe one thing that I have in mind, and that's something that I want to push, is adaptive UI based on the user behavior. And so let's say someone start with this, and then, I don't know, maybe 6 months from their beginning of using the software, we move them to medium, right? So they understand that, okay, it's the same thing, but now you have the most used feature on the top. And then maybe a year after they started using the tool and they are very invested in how they use the software, we give them the small, giving them like more space to do the thing that they want to do, rather than having the entire like screen taken over by like an action sheet, which I really want to push that to people, but I don't know how that could be a thing. I mean, I know how it could be a thing, but just this, I kept that, and I think for not viable UI, but like adaptive UI based on user needs and user behavior, that's an interesting thing. But yeah, so I kept that specifically. I also kept this because, right, we knew it would happen. So that's from yesterday. Someone made it their background, which is top notch. We have this one, which I think is a very neat transition in terms of what they now like give you in animated transition. I know this one has been made specifically for or by Apple or whatever, but it's just the spacing in between the stripes, and the placement. I guess I really like it, so I kept that. And then this one is exactly what I said. It's what I wanted. And this is the thing that I was trying to showcase yesterday, but I couldn't. But yeah, that's the bottom thing that FigJam have. But yeah, FigJam, Miro, Freeform. They forgot freehand, which is like really weird. But yeah, envision freehand, then Miro or Miro, then FigJam, then Freeform. Pretty interesting. And then the last one that I kept is this, and that's touched me so hard. So if you are an iOS developer, or if you are an app developer in general, you know that you need to, for specific stores, you need to provide all the sizes of app icons And now they finally did something that Twitch is doing for emotes, for example. So on Twitch, you can provide the 112 by 112 emotes, and then it will resize itself automatically. And then this one is basically that. You provide the 1024 by 1024 app icon, and then it will resize and automatically do the size for you. You can still, as they say, you can still override individual sizes with the all size option. But still, that's a good overall option to be able to say, well, now you just need, as a designer, you just need to export one 1024 by 1024. So that's a plus. That's something that we don't need. And that's other things that are more developer oriented, but yeah. Just kept these things. Specifically, this one is really interesting, so I will keep that on the side. And I really think this is the assignment for today. So let me change. If you haven't done, this was the previous one that we did last week. Last week's assignment. Oh, we now have modules. What are modules? Logic stuff. Good. We'll take a look at that a bit later. That's done. Still from the bot, I'm still not live right now, which is good. Good to know. I still don't like what we achieved last week. I think it's okay. I mean, we did good, but the blue ball, the blue ball right here is not a ball. It doesn't look like a ball, and I don't like that. So I think I messed up the outer shadow to make it look like it's darker on the sides. Yeah. I don't really know if I want to fix it. But today's assignments, because that's what we're supposed to work on. Let me see. Unless you want to propose your option, which can happen. Could happen, might happen, may happen. I don't know. Oh shit. Well, that happened. Do you have this issue as well? Oh. You want me to redesign Twitch? I think at some point it will happen on stream. That's like... well, I don't have MS Paint, so... that's sorted. And the goal of the challenge is doing it in your design tool of choice, of your choice, not of chat choices. And technically speaking, it may be easy on MS Paint. have paint. Turns out I have paint. I don't know if the fan is from the Mac or the PC. Nonetheless, can I do that? Guess I can't. Guess I can't. Well, this bitch is dead, so that's pissed me off. I don't know why they just decided today was the day of nothing working. Like, I don't understand why. They don't give you any information on why things happen. Erin, hi, welcome on in. How are you? Nice use of the oof emote. I'm crying right now. Nothing works. Aiden, hi. You've been dethroned from first today. Oli was like 6:30 exactly here. Jackson, hi, welcome on in. We are trying to make Figma work, but it doesn't want to, which pisses me off. But other than that, I hope your day was good or your day's going great. Better than mine, please. I've been working all day, almost good, and then right now, dead. You were here before, yes, I know, but still, you were, I mean, did you speak before? There is loading. Heading home. Have a good trip home. Home, ride home, walk home, something home. Oh, also walking. It's a good walk. Trying to finish up the term? Yeah. Why? So much hate. Can I do a new file though? Is that an option? Doesn't seem like it's the case. Oh, nice. If you want to share, Jackson, feel free to do so. Would love to see. Motion design is really interesting, specifically if you are like starting. I really like to see, like, Mike Topus. Welcome on in. I don't recognize your name. Why? Why? You were good a second ago. What happened? That's interesting. Let me... Damn it. Oh, I'm guessing I need sounds. Sorry. I'm guessing we need sound.
I've already told you, can't go on a Thursday.
Is that DMCA free? I don't think so. Sorry. Well, giving you the music back. That's good. You have good stuff in there. We have to go back to the usual music. Um, you have really good stuff in there. I like your play on fonts, right? So as like at the beginning and at the end, the fact of your morphing ish. How could I say that? Um, yeah, morphing. Um, and you have a lot of different styles. So one of the reasons why I say I love to see the beginning of motion design, because when I'm looking at this reel right now, I'm seeing some specifics in which you put it a bit more time or visually more time. So, for example, I know that some of these are like this one, for example, is a bit like longer and harder to do in a way. It's also now with the tools that we have is easier than when I started. You have it good now, kids. But no, I really like the fact of seeing some of the tiny thing that you do and see how like you put more work on some of them, meaning that now I can say that maybe maybe font illustration is something that you like to do or you would like to do in the future, and maybe these type of things are less interesting to you. Like this is maybe 3D is interesting as well because you have plenty of it inside of it, and this is a very simple one, but then the next 3D one that you have is way more detailed and interesting. Like this one, for example, if you model that, or this one, it's way more detailed than the first one. So it's interesting to me to say, well, this person, which is currently learning motion, is maybe turning into a 3D animator or a type fonts animator, and that could be really interesting. So that's one thing. And then also I love to see your reel from like 2022, which is now, and then in a year from now you send me a new reel from next year, and I'm like, damn, you progressed so much compared to, and then we reference to this one, and you see like how much progress you did and where you did the progress and what is like best, uh, what you went into and all of that. So yeah, I love these. But you did a good job on all of that. It's a bit of uh, how can I say that? It's a bit of a first real. Um, oh, oh, that's really interesting. My cursor, okay, worked but didn't work. It was really weird. It was stuck on the progress bar, but moved on stream, but didn't move for me. Weird. What was I about to say? Oh yeah, now yes, it's a really first real, which means you have everything back to back, and like it's not exactly um, like you don't have sound design with it. I guess that's the main thing. You don't have sound design with the animation, meaning that the bass lack a tiny bit of body. I guess that's what it's how it's called. But yeah, it's weird. It's a weird thing. Nonetheless, you did a good job. I remember my first. I mean, I shared it before. You've seen them. They were ugly as fuck. Um, but yeah, they was interesting. Trying, trying again this, but it doesn't seem to be loading. Ah, damn. I don't know why. Does the browser version work? I'm also thinking it may be something depending on location. So I am tempted to test VPN Figma. I don't think it's a good idea though, but let's see. But yeah, so the next iteration that I would recommend you to do is, if you are really interested in motion design, is to go into sound design, and sound design makes the animation. Like that's something that I've learned when I was in school for motion design, and yeah. So if you really are interested in motion, do sound as well, and understand how sound can destroy and enhance any motion that you create. So having some blinking sounds, some static in the background. The thing that I would tell you is to use. 1 second. If you are looking into sound design, this is a good resource. So Soundly is the sound effect platform, as they say. They have a free version. The free version gives you access to the first 1,000 sounds of each section, I think, which is huge. Or just the first 1,000 sounds, I forgot. But it's free, and you get access to a lot of really useful sounds, which may not be the best, right? But as a starter, it's great. And if you're on Mac or if you're on PC, it works the same. You can copy paste from Soundly to any motion software that you're using, or drag and drop directly into it, as long as it's part of the thing that you are paying for or getting for free. And it's great. Yeah, it's great. Like I cannot recommend it more. It's it's a great software, great bank of sounds. And if you are starting with sound design, start with the most obnoxious sounds possible. One of the things that I showed you some months ago, I did a matchbox with a match scratching and catching on fire. And the sounds that I decided to have was on the opening of the box, it was a stone on stone slide. So it felt heavy, like a granite on top of granite. And then the match going up was a swoosh, which was very accurate to moving on. But then the going in the matchbox and scratching itself was an ECG. ECG? Like the electroshock thingy starting, and then the fire was some rumble which sounded like fire but not exactly. So I just played with sound in order to get the weirdest reaction. I think one of my favorite YouTuber did that a long time ago. I don't know how I could find that, but it's it's probably in the oldest. There was like a sketch that he did who was. So if you don't know Tom Sky, Tom Sky is great. It was like in a world where sounds don't match, and it's somewhere in there. I just don't remember where it is. But they did a thing with any sound of footsteps or door opening or whatever was practically the opposite of what it should have sounded. And that's a great exercise if you know how to play with sound design. It's a great exercise to just match sound that are not supposed to match, right? So somewhere in there, if I find it back, I will send it into Discord. Um, Maybe they deleted it, but yeah, sound design is great. Makes everything, makes everything works. Can Figma stop fucking with me, please? Fuck. Ah, well, that's what happened when you're a designer streamer and your software is dead. I can't even open Sketch. I can't even open Sketch because, well, I don't have a license to Sketch anymore. So, kind of screwed. Kind of screwed. Did anyone learn or know of um, a design tool that could be used instead of Figma? You're trying to start Sketch. I don't know, ReadyMag. I take a look at that. What is it? If you can tell me. Um, Delayed by 8 minutes. Well, that's a long ass. Can I start a trial? No, no. I already have an account. Damn it. Oh yeah. So now we are in service description. Okay. Okay. You said ReadyMag. What is ReadyMag? I have never seen it. This, I'm sorry, this is bullshit. Like, this is bullshit. It is riding the hype of the news, which I hate when companies are doing this. Um, I see Zender right there. Interesting. I've seen this. I've seen this before. I might have seen that a long time ago. That's a that's a big ass button. That that's a big ass button. Yeah, You know, I can, but I don't think it's a good behavior for brands to just say, well, if you are in a crisis, you get our product for free, rather than say, well, you know, we know you are in a crisis, let us help, like financially or something else if they can. But I'm guessing, some companies have like a 20% off during Pride months, which is like dumb. Uh, that's interesting. And you get a free XYZ domain. Interesting. Um, yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. I'm like, if you're like willing to give your product for free, give it for free to anyone who is in need or in crisis. Like, um, I don't know, there are wars going all over the globes, and right now we are just calling this one the newest one, and so that's why we have this. But in like a week, maybe that changes for Pride months, and then maybe in a month it's changed for something else. So I don't fucking know. I don't trust these things. So that's now basically. Um, yeah, if I mean if it's cheap and you still get like hosted in a domain for free, I can't complain. I mean, I can complain. I'm complaining all the time, but I can't complain. Figma is not loading. Sorry. Does the beta work? That would be nice. If the beta software was loading, but not the regular one. Um, it doesn't. That's the old design. Shit. Shit. So what do we have? We have Lunacy. I don't want to play on Lunacy. We have uh, Visly, but I don't think I can. Um, oh, most French people complain. Yes, we are known for complaining, so that's why I'm saying I'm aware and I'm complaining all the time. Um, which is true, but not true, but true. Where would I be the most comfortable? I guess Lunacy. I don't want to play with Lunacy. I hate it. I hate the interface. The UI is trash. Trash. Also, current song has been updated. I don't even know if it worked. It worked. So we now have the forward and backward in the player, which is interesting. Oh, and I can make the thing blink. Interesting. Forget about it. Um, so let's update Lunacy so that we can potentially play with it. If you don't know what Lunacy is a web-based version of Sketch without having Sketch. So it's like Figma but with the capacity of Sketch, which is really interesting, and with a UI that is extremely trash. So it's no good. Uh, but let's see. They are doing an update. We'll see if that changes anything. It's also a very useful way to open a sketch file on Windows because it's cross-platform and you can play with all the thing you want. As you can see, it's a very Figma-inspired UI, even though it's a sketch base thing. So, can I paste? I can't because I was dumb and I didn't do this. Okay, so I can do that. Can I frame that? Oh shit, no. So it's Artboard now. We'll see. We'll see if we can. Um, you mean the French complaining? Yeah. What do you mean you can't rename things? Have a good raid. Have a good raid. Have a good ride. Train ride. So let's lock this and make it, I don't know, 40%? Maybe? Would work? And then change this to black. I'm guessing, oh, a bit better. Yeah, French are complaining. We are complaining a lot. That makes a lot of sense to me. So this is not centered. Damien, what did you do? So this creation is or has been created by Damien Kid, which is a nice person. NFC creator, illustrator, and so this is mainly, I think, Cinema 4D for this one. Does that work here? No, it doesn't. Can I do that with border and then get rid of this? Yes, I can. You ready for action? Good. Good, 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 good. So this is not, if I do that, good. It's almost not round. I mean, it's not round. It's not a perfect sphere. It's okay, an okay sphere. I'm guessing the point, that is this one, need to go down a bit. This needs to be here. I guess overall. So remember, this is not my regular tool. Oh shit. A mistake. Yeah. It's an oval-ish shape. Interesting. Good to know. Good to know. Let me let me keep Figma loading in the background just in case. Yeah. It's deadish. Let's see if I can load the fucking file. I'll just jump on it. have no words. Loading time is annoying, but it loaded something. Aiden, be careful. They might use the newest feature of safety check and check you out of their location. It seems to be loading. It seems to be loading. Please don't give me an error state. You mean stalking? Yeah, I agree. I agree. All right, you're back in Figma. Can kill you, Lunacy. Can I paste? Yes, I can paste. Okay, good. So Lunacy, let's quit that because that's trash. Let's go back to Figma. So we need to do the thing that I just did again. It's fine though. Now that we have this, we can do that in no time. In no fucking time. So let's lock that layer. Let's center this. I should have checked the size on Lunacy. Would have helped me, I guess. And that's, kids, where you see how a tool that you know makes you 10 times faster. We did the thing almost perfectly in the first go. Hey, hey, nice. Well, we kind of done. So the the base shape, right? This thing that we're trying to recreate today, and also for anyone who is new and just arrived, this is Assignment Tuesday when we try to recreate something that we see online. This is by Damien Kidd, which is a 3D orb, which is probably glass, knowing Damien and what they do. And so we are recreating it in vector-based software. So it's like having this challenge of recreating something that is 3D in a flat environment. So we did that before, and so we know it's achievable easily. But this one looks very good, and I wanted to do this with the least amount of layers possible. So what I'm thinking is 5 layers maximum. Like maximum, I think 5 layers will be what we will have. And I think that's enough. I really think 5 layers is enough. Which might sound weird. I agree. But if you decompose this as a picture, right? You have as a shape, you have an inner like radius with a bit of yellow, but it's not all around. You also have this highlight all around, however, that's probably like an inner shadow. We can use an inner shadow to make this highlight thingy. And then this orb in the center is what will be the most complicated things to do if we wanted to do it in one go. However, I know how I work, and it will probably not be in one go. We will need to have like this as our base. So what I will do is take that color here and make sure that we have like a radial overall thing going on with the highlight being there. And then if you look closely, the shape here is not exactly circular, it's more of an oval thing. So in order to just see what I'm doing in terms of how oval my shape is, I just put my two colors next to each other, so I have like a sharper-ish transition. And then this point, which usually you don't know what the fuck it's meant to be, is to create this oval. And so it's a very, very slight oval shape. I guess it's here, and also it's turned. So I'm thinking somehow something like this, maybe our centered oval thing as a base, and then on top of that we will have field on top of fields on top of fields on top of fields. So I need to slice what I'm seeing in terms of color, brightness, and layering on top of each other. So what I know is this blue blob right here is probably on top of everything. I could put it here, but if I do then have like something that goes on top, it might get a bit weird. So this will be our last element to be added. When I'm looking at this, I'm seeing the outline, which is, well, it's an outline that's an effect, can be added now because it will always be visible, so we can do that. So it's like it's not a drop shadow, it's an inner shadow, it's pure white, and it's probably like, let's do 100%, 0, and the blur is like basically this. So let's do that. Have a good look for your mom. So let's do 64, and let's do something like 24%. So it's just in highlight. Let's duplicate it. Make that less blurry and brighter. And then duplicate it again, and less blurry and brighter. KDJ, welcome on in. Thank you for the wig takeoff. Appreciate it. So I'm guessing as the outside, that's basically what we can see, right? It may be a bit more diffused, but we'll see what we can do around that later. However, I'm thinking this yellow, red, green, blue orb in the middle may be the thing that we need now. So, how the fuck do we do that? That is the question. We might need a black thing right there, which might be in the center. We'll see. We'll see what we can do. So let's take that, duplicate this, take it from here, and then make our center red, like bright fucking red. Put it here and make that 0%. So that way I can create, that's a good looking eye. I can create, I know that it's about here, right? The transition, I'm guessing somehow here and here. That's where the thing needs to go. Let's do that. Let's place this around here and sharp-ish. Shit. Sharp-ish on that. Right. And does it touch the top? Yes, almost. So it might be like not centered. So disable the grid, the pixel grid thingy. That seems okay. It seems a bit less narrow, so let's make it a tad more narrow. And then now, so what I'm doing is just this transition. So we have a transition that goes to the outside is basically this blue. And then we have a green, which is here. And then we have in the middle a bright yellow. And in the middle of these two, we have a bright orange, right? So that's our basic transition. The thing is, the transition happened to have less of the three colors and more of the blue. So, in order to achieve this, we just bring them back next to each other inside of here. And then unzoom a bit, see if it matches. The blue to green seems to have like a sharper transition, so we can do that. That's okay. I think my red is not the right red, which makes a lot of sense because I didn't pick the red. Like it's way too bright. So this one is basically here. And then the next one, which is the inner one right there, is about here. So right now we are just picking the color at the bottom, right? So as you can see here, we have a bit of refraction. I think it's refraction. Instead of a glass orb, you have a bit of a refraction, which happened on this one because it's transparent entirely. Sometimes there is a bit of refraction inside of it, which is still a very clean looking thing. So right now we are just doing the inner one, and by thinking about it right now, I'm like, well, if that's the case and we need to have a bit more like wider green and maybe a slimmer thing in the middle, it may be interesting for us to create something that is not like this. But right now we have the right colors. So what I can do, because now I know that I have a red, an orange, a yellow, a green, and a blue, that's 5 layers. Yes, 5 layers. So I can duplicate this one 5 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now I'm taking the smallest one and I will get rid of, you know what? I will get rid of any non-transitional colors. And so keeping this one right here, giving me a bit of an option to put more green potentially in the transition, but also giving me a bit of blue. And so here, however, I need to make my blue also. Sadly, Figma is still fucked at this point. Did I made a mistake on this one? I did. It's fine. I need to make my blue, my outside blue transparent, and then duplicate that point so that I have the same color, and get rid of that yellow potentially, or get rid of the other ones. So get rid of the bright colors, make that transition here, and then now what that means is on top of my blue, which is here, I get a transition to yellow, which will then, I will have the ability to transform that. So doing the same thing on this one. So the blue can disappear. The green goes to transparent. I mean, this one goes to transparent. This yellow here is duplicated. This one goes to transparent. And we can get rid of both of these. That makes sense. And then here, which is the last one, we have duplicated on the orange, transparent on this one, and transparent on the yellow. All right. And so this one, which I did the first time, needs to go on top of everything. And no, made a mistake. Then I'm guessing this is good. So we have our blue, which technically can be like slimmer if we wanted to, right? That's what we can do. We can take this one is fucked, right? This one is our red, which should be at the top. My bad. The goal is to have like transitions that work, right? So we have this, and then under it we should have our green, which is this one. So I'm trying to reorder my layers in order to, not green, in order to have like the colors in the right order and make sure that it makes sense. So this is orange, this is yellow, this is green, and then this is blue. So that's good. However, our green right here could benefit with being a bit like more oval and with a bigger transition to yellow potentially, and a bigger transition here to blue. And then because we know it doesn't need to be that prominent at the bottom, we can still move it up a bit, right? That's an option. And then fine tune it a bit later. Needs to be somehow here. And then our transition to yellow here, we can like fade it out, if I can say that, and fade it in to this side. Do the same thing on this one. Fade out the orange here, potentially fade out this a bit. And then the last part being the red. Let's see. I still feel like the red is brighter, so we might change the red later on. That's an easy fix. I also think it's brighter overall. So let's just brighten up this. That's very bright. It's more vibrant, makes more sense, a lot more sense. Um, and so what we could do as well is the center part right here, rather than having a color or transparency specifically, we could have this. We could have this happen on the center, meaning that now, by having this on top of everything, right, even though it's not exactly right, I'm guessing this outbound color is too bright. Also, there will be something that comes on top of it, so we'll see. That's a highlight right there. So what we can do now by having this is shrinking our borders a bit, so making the transition a bit less visible on the sides of our ovals. That give us this stretched-ish type of thing. I'm guessing now is the time to create this orb right here. So let's add a new thing, make it white for now, 100%, and then a radial, and it's placed basically here and there. It has a bit of an oval shape to create this perceived roundness, and it is that color here and that color here. And what's happening is we have a darker thing goes on top. It kind of needs to be sharp on the outside, so in order to do that I need to have this at more than 0%. And that's where I was thinking potentially we will need a bit of another layer just to make sure that the thing works. Because it's a bit, it, this one is a bit difficult because of the shape that it has. It needs to be way brighter in the middle, but also like this thing needs to also be like brighter than the rest of the orb. I guess that's an issue on my side with the orb being such a lighter color for some reason. I don't exactly know how I can explain that. Yeah, so I'm guessing I add another one, which also is a radial, but I reverse it. We've done that 3 days ago. By creating a radial that is reversed, we get this shape right here. And so we can then place that oval wherever we want it to be. So currently we need one that cover this side of our orb, and I guess that's the thing right there. And so by changing the distance in between my 2 points, I change the blur or the transition in between the two. So that's an easy-ish thing. I could put it at 100% and just make that like a different screen thingy. I never know. You know I never know. Yeah, that's a new name, Ollie. Did you change your name? At least you have your badge. Thinking we needed to be more blue. How the fuck do you have this working? I never know. I never know blending mode. Um, what is FTE? I don't know what FTE means. Oh, full-time employee. That makes sense. I want that transition to be better, but it doesn't want to be better for me. So that's no good. um, guessing that's enough. Guessing that's enough. Yeah. So was that the issue? Like, did you change your contract and then now have to change things? Tempted, highly tempted to have this in another file, in another shape. I said the least amount of shape or layers as possible. So, oh yeah, well, they were right and wrong at the same time. That's interesting. So in order to do the highlights, I will do the same thing, right? So let's duplicate this one, and then instead of having like this color, we will take this yellowish on the out on the sorry, not that one. This whitish on the inside and this yellowish on the outside. And then now what needs to happen is the inside one needs to have transparency and be extremely sharp. So by doing that, we now have the ability to come in here and just highlight a certain part, like right here, basically. And then let's think that this is not bright enough, so that's one highlight, one way of doing our highlights. They also have like a lot of things. I think I did the same thing as last time, where I just said this is the right way of doing it, when in reality it's not. So I may have been wrong on this one as well, but that's fine. I can live with that. Trying to make it meet that point right there, not physically, but almost physically. So this point is fucking annoying. So on the other side, at the bottom, we have another one which have the same rezoning on how it should go to the other side. Somehow, something like this seems okay. So right now, as I said, I'm just placing things, and because of Figma and no, there is music, but you can't hear it because it's so low at the moment. Right? You can hear that. That was fucking loud. Sorry. Ah. That triggered the effect. What do you mean no audio at all? What? No, I can see things. I see things moving, so it should be okay. It should be okay. Welcome back home. Aiden, welcome back home. I am dead. It's not the one we want, that's the one we want to not have. Trying to get the bloom kind of thing, but it's bad. New phone case, good. I think I went in the wrong way, which sound interesting. Let me rethink my life choices right there, and and make sure that this is a good ID. That's what I said, yes. So I'm thinking, I said the least amount of layers, but it seems to be more complicated than expected, as always. So I'm thinking the most amount of layers, right? Which would mean a way more like touch point related placement and everything, which I think is a good-ish idea. So let me duplicate what I did right here, and that's our first trash, which I think shouldn't exist. That's good to know. And then here I need that, and I just want to get rid of all of this. And then this is an effect on top, and let's get rid of that one and reverse this one just in case. So we have the orb as a base, and I'm thinking overall, if I want to have all of these effects to work perfectly as intended, I need to make multiple selections. So let's do that rather than not, because right, it will be easier for everyone, for me, and specifically for those of you who decide to do this. I guess that will help. So let's do that. So we have an highlight here, we have an orb in the middle, needs to happen. So I'm always using Shift X, always using Shift X to swap fill and stroke, which is really useful specifically now that we are doing this. So placing this here, placing that there. Then orienting it a bit. So from this one, and that's one of the benefits of what I'm doing right now, is you can now create specific shapes for specific colors, and so that's, I guess that will help. So if I duplicate it and then stretch it for the red and make sure that I'm like on top-ish of the orange. Kane, hi, welcome on in. I can then have a layer blur that will make the transition a bit better. That's what I'm hoping to get from this one. Figma is dead, so we all need to go back to Adobe. I'm sorry. No, they have issues with servers and things like this, and I think it's I was about to say it's a local thing, but it's not exactly a local thing, but it's a local thing. So yeah, it's just annoying to like how can I say, struggling with servers. So right now we just achieved this file. I'm not living it ever again. I don't want to lose the axis. Let's brighten this, brighten this, brighten this. So as I said earlier, because I'm thinking in different colors, I should have the ability to just blow them afterward, which will give us the outer glows. So that's our red, and also I'm naming my layers, which is weird. So our yellow, that is our green, what do you mean? Why do I have any tool to show different shades of colors? Yes? You mean a black? So, I mean, if you want to get like a different gray, let's say you have a gray, right? And you want to have a darker gray, you can go here in Figma and then switch for something darker, right? So that's one way of finding the color that you want. You can also go in HSL and just use the light value, and bump it down to have something darker, which as always work for any type of colors, right? So if I go darker on this, we'll have something a bit darker here. So if you're on a gray, it will work. You also have the, why it's so far away. You also have coolers. You want to? That's a delay. See? That's a bit of a delay right there. So 29 is okay. It's a bit of a on the red side. Like it's a slightly reddish. But yeah, colors is useful if you wanted to have this, that generator, and bruh, I know how it works. So let's say you find a gray that is cool, you keep it, and then you scroll through. You could then here have shades. That's just what I wanted to say. Basically, you get your shades, and so if you want like a darker one, you can. Or let's say here I wanted a darker one, I can. So you can easily find shade of dark. And then these ones are very close. This one is a bit brighter than this one. Can you see that on stream? I don't think you can. This one is a bit more colorful. So these two are more red and this one is more purple. This one is more of a wine thing and this one is very gray. So, right, you can easily do that specifically with colors and taking like palettes, darker shades and everything. So that's the tool that I'm using. It depends on the company and depends on the color that you're taking. Like if you're taking the Facebook blue, like it is well known. So if you are using Discord blacks, that's fine. If you want to have, like if you are here and you have Peeper, CSS Peeper, you will have all the colors that is used on the page. So that may be helpful to you. It's a nice addition. So you can see that they have their grays, their things, their colors, all of that. So if you're going with the purple bluish from Discord, you can use that. The thing is, using the exact same Xcode may bring you to some issues with the company itself, but if you don't give a shit, then you should be fine. Oh, I just got an ID. Okay. We can do that. So that's the brightish... Fuck you, sorry. That's the brightish blue that we need right here. Which technically is going there. It's not really a jerk move to do, it's just maybe you really like the color, and like if you just use the eyedropper on the color, you might find something that is not exactly the color that they use, but I don't know. Let's see if I can load this. I have no hope. It seems to load. It loaded. Good. Well, surprised. The Discord color right here, right, which is this color, is physically close to a lot of things. So if you wanted to use that as a base, sorry, made a mistake right there, as your base color, right?
Hello.
Right now, hi, Xcode, welcome on in. You could define a more reliable color in terms of Xcode, right? So what I do, and we talked about it before, what I do if I can is on my Xcode, I'm trying to get something that is repeated. So right now what I'm seeing is 5865 F2. So we may have something in 56F that is closer or close enough. You may see the difference on stream. It's a bit brighter and a bit more blue. It seems more blue on stream, a bit more saturated, right? Oli, welcome. And so I'm using this 56F in order to have the ability when I'm writing CSS to just say 56F instead of the whole thing. And so by doing that, you are not using the Discord color. You are extremely close, so you have a color that is apparently similar, but it's not the same, meaning that you're not using the Discord color. So that's something that you can do if you want to. If you wanted to. If you didn't want it to, then that's fine. That is fine. Fine. Right now I'm creating the egg on the other side, which is weird, but will work. And then here we basically have this. Right? Right now that doesn't look like a lot of thing. The 56F, Aiden, you can't copy 56F. Sorry, I just read your message, but that's the code. So that's our base, I guess, for most of our shapes. I still think that this one is another outline thingy that can come on top of it. Let me see. Let's hope it loads. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. That's... Nope. Nope, nope, nope. You need space for your buttons. You need a lot of space for your buttons. We'll change that later. I'm thinking, which happens from time to time, this highlight on the outside is most likely a duplicate of this one. So let's do that. I guess guessing this, right? That's what I'm seeing on everything. We also have like a bit of a blur right here, which will be a bit annoying to create, but that's a thing that we can play with. I made a mistake. Right, good. And so that needs to be, so let's make it just solid white right for now. You can't see shit. Neptune, hi. Welcome on in. How are you? It's a tired day. I would say that it's a day where I'm tired, and I'm currently trying to shape things out, but it doesn't work as I want it to work. Specifically, Figma doesn't work exactly as I want it to work, so it's annoying. But I hope you're good. I hope your day is going great, or at least good. Let me just get rid of that and put back the regular size things. I'm guessing we have most of our shapes. We don't have this here, which is a bit of a weird thingy. Right, that's the outline. Oh, Neptune, by the way, for the logo you shared in Discord, the logo ID here, yeah, that's the usual thing on Tuesday. We do cool shit, and it never looks as good as the original. So it's consolation without being consolation. But thank you, I appreciate it. Let me see, can I do that fucking thing now? Does that bend it? Like creating a banana like this. That's too much of a banana. I don't give a shit now. It will be blurred anyways. So yes, the oh yeah, 2,888 fucks. That's I mean, 89 now. That's pretty cool. So in terms of what I was about to say for your logo, for the thing that you have in mind, the base, right? If you want to have this as a base, right now, as you said, you created like a rectangle. To use this, I would really recommend you to use the pen tool and just like play with the placement of things, like this, for example. And so now if I do that in red, I can easily have something that looks clean without having these edges. And then once I have one, right, because that's the goal, I just Command D to duplicate it and just rotate it and place it down. So yeah, so you just place point with the pen tool. If you want to learn the pen tool, I always forgot the link, so let me just copy that in chat. This is the best thing you can have to understand how the pen tool is working. So if you read everything, and I really recommend you to read everything, right, there is a point here, and let me just reload. There is a point, you need to go there, and then you need to go there. So you have this animation in the beginning, and so you just click, and then you click, and then you click, and it works, right? And then here you can see that it has the shift key enable visible here. So it means you need to press shift. So you click, and then you press shift. You can see on the bottom right of my screen. And then you click, and then you keep shift pressed, and you click, and click, and click, and click. And then it's done. And now you can see that it's click and like press and drag. And so you click and drag. I'm using shift because I know how it's working, but in the beginning you don't need that. And you go here, you click and you press. You try to achieve the same like rotation thingy, right? So this game is amazing for anyone who needs to learn, right? And this one is the one that is the most complicated for most people because they don't look at the animation here, and because you can't replay the animation, that's a bit annoying. But this one is just you press and drag, you press Alt on your keyboard, sorry, Alt not Command, and then you reposition and you still have the clicked. And then you release, and you go at the bottom, and you do the same thing. You match, press Alt, go back there, release, go there, and it does the thing for you. And then you have that. And this one is one of the most complicated. And so as always, when you start here, you can do either starting this way or starting this way. They don't give you like the hints, but like you can do whichever size you want and sides you want. I also like to play with the amount of nodes that they think I need to achieve the car, and then doing it in way less than what they think I would need, which is always fun to me. So I think my record on this one is getting oh, I forgot this one. Shit. It is in 12 instead of 15. So yeah, like that's the thing that you try to do. Right, you get more shapes and more things. Still, right. Like in the beginning, try to follow what they recommend in a way. in order to get better. But as soon as you understand how things work, like you can get more crazy like I'm doing most of the time. And it works. So this game is pretty cool in order to understand the pen tool. And so for your logo here, if it's based on the S thingy right there, then using the pen tool will help. And then if you want to recreate this, rather than using the rectangles, as you said, you can use nodes, like links, basically, and create something that is like similar in just one line. So that's just one line of things. One of the reasons why I'm recommending this to you is, let's say at some point you wanted to have this with more rounded shapes, you could. Let's say you wanted to have endpoints that are rounded, right? You could. So yeah, so if you just want to round this into an S, right, you could have these effects, and then you can play with, like, I don't know, dashes seems to create the S pretty perfectly if it's rounded. So that's an option. I don't know. See, that like these things are very easy if you use the right tools. And so right now I'm thinking this needs to be centered. If we wanted to have like an S-ish. And so maybe you want to have something that is something that is different and that has like a bit of a hoop instead of the regular chevron thing. Nishit, hi, welcome on in. So you could do that, right? In no time with the same path, creating different shapes without having to really think about it. And I don't know, I think that's better-ish than using just text. The Apple even concluded with, they created a new tool for using your iPhone as a camera, webcam on the app directly. So that's interesting. And new computers, which are pretty interesting. Not that expensive, but expensive, like Apple expensive, but not that expensive, which is good. And yeah, that's the base of what happened. Yeah. No new iPhone yet, just new Macs for this one. And so Neptune, for the for the shape itself, right now I have created it with just one thing, but you could create it with multiple shapes, right? If you wanted to, you could have like just the top section, the mid section in 3 distinctive parts, right? Like this. Shit. And then I put it into an auto layout frame just because it's easier for me. But like now you can play with the rotation of this one if you wanted to, or maybe you say, okay, so this needs to be a bit wider and this as well, but I just want to make it, I don't know, here potentially, because it's like multiple shapes, it might be easier for you to manipulate. So you decide on that, right? if that matches with you. I'm thinking this is pretty, trying to get the angle to match right here, almost. It doesn't, but almost, right? So getting the shape, and then maybe, like right now we are 24, maybe it needs to be like way thicker, or maybe thinner. So you can easily do all of these things, and in here you will have the ability to do the same thing, right? That's an option, but it will just make things a bit more complicated overall. You can. I hope that helps. Just moving things around. I'm just like not really doing anything good. Just moving things around to make sure that stuff that you have in mind works. So let's say you want them to be rounded, and then you want the angles to be rounded as well. As an option, you can make it bigger, thicker, not thicker. You could go here and say, well, here we could have another point there and get rid of that section here, and then on this one have another point here, and then get rid of these section right there, right? So you can do anything. That's basically what I'm saying. And the other way around, you could put it in a very slanted thing. So overall, rather than using rectangle to make a shape that can easily be done with the pen tool, do that. Or as I think it's Oli that said, make rectangle and then double click them to edit the nodes, which, right, it's the same. Can I paste that? I can't. It's the same ID. So if I create a rectangle right here, and I say that's my base, I'm using this shape because it's way more fleshed out. If I press enter or just double click on it, you can see the node points, the thing that I moved around earlier, right? And so by doing this and taking like a node point and moving it around, you have the ability to then create the shapes that you wanted to see, right? So I'm just using that very quickly to show you that rather than having rectangles and rectangles and rectangles, you can just create the same shape in like no time with this, right? Yeah, this is what you were suggesting. That's not kinda, it's exactly, I was referencing your message earlier. So you can do that, right? And now you have just one shape. Yeah, so you either have to press this thing, which is edit object, press, double click on it, give you the nodes, or press enter. You have three options to go in. So enter, double click, all the button that is here. That's the way to edit any node points. So if I do like a node points based on the pen tool, same thing right here, it's the same. I can edit on going here or pressing enter, all that. That's a nice M shape. I like that. So both option works. The assignments that we are doing on Tuesdays on the regular is a great way for you as a designer to understand how to use these tools specifically, and it helps in the long run a lot to like give you the ability, flexibility to do things that you would rather never have created, like these, for example. Like this one is one of the most interesting one because it's really 3D and it looks physical. But this one is made in Figma and it's mainly made with the pen tool and the pen tool, and that's all. So this entire thing right here is just pen tool with pen tool with pen tool. Points and points and points and points and points everywhere. You should try. That's the thing. Even if you are intimidated, you should try it. You may not share it with everyone, right? I mean, the one from today is pretty much like this one, very hard to recreate. But the one that we started with, like this one, or restarted with, is very simple. What the fuck happened with my connection? In terms of the outcome that can happen, right now this one has a lot of gradients and a lot of things and effects and right, all of that. You don't really need these to make it happen. Like you can easily have the base of that shape like defined in a way, right? So you could, let's say you just keep that one, don't keep this one, maybe you just keep that one. Shit. Deleted the wrong one. And then here or here, get rid of the effects. And then this one, you get rid of that. And let's say just solidify this. Get rid of the effect. If you achieved this, right, on your first try of trying to duplicate this thing, you would have learned how to use gradients and basic of Boolean operation to make this shape happen. So that's one thing that you potentially didn't know yet, or maybe you know how to do it, but you haven't really used it. That's one way of using it. And then when you have this created, right, you can say, okay, so now I have the base shape, and with this base shape, I need to create the effect themselves. So there is like a bit of a physical feel where the slits have a bit of a shadow and a bit of a highlight, right? All of these things may be a bit difficult if you are not here during the stream and you don't see me do the thing at the same time. That may be a bit challenging, but overall, most of these effects are just, as their name implies, effects. So if I take this, right, and I have like the slits, and I want to have the effects of a bit of depth, I can just have a drop shadow. That's one option. I can also have an inner shadow. And then in order to do that crazy sharp shadow thing, you make it 0.5 or 1 of blur with a 1 here, which basically on this specific one it needs to be -1. That's because I know. but you already have a bit of physical depth for these slits. And then if I just create another one, which is not a drop shadow, I mean, we could use a drop shadow, it could happen, but I use another inner shadow, and instead of making it dark, I make it white, so F for white, and I make it way brighter, and I use the same method, so it's like a 1 blur and a 1 or 2 in white. And now you get this, which looks more physical than before. And it's not perfect, it's not exactly the duplication of this, which was way more subtle and everything. But overall, it already created this physical feel. And it's like the 3.5 effects on nothing. So you can easily do that. And the rest of things, like this one, very challenging, I agree. This one, very challenging, I agree. This one, less challenging, no. But when you see me do the things, I guess that make it less challenging. When you see this, you're like, damn, that's fucking impossible to do. And then, right now, I just created circles. That's the only thing. The most challenging one was this one, which was a banana. Creating the banana was difficult, but the rest is just circles so far. We need to continue working on it for sure, but so far it's just circles. So I'm guessing you have the ability and the capacity, the skills to create circles. It's not the hardest thing. So right now they are not in order and I need to reorder them, but that's a me thing. So, also, let me plug things, right? Because you are part of the Discord, you have access to the assignment channel, and you can go back up to things that we did before that are either easy or looks easier to you. Specifically, this one, which was made by the same guy who did this. The reason why I'm saying it's simpler is because what he created in here, I wish he didn't post so much shit. So he created the shapes themselves and then shared the process on Twitter. GVLA, hi, welcome in. How are you? How was your day going? It was around here. Okay, good. So this one right there, let me paste that in the chat so you have access to it. I said what? I said paste it in the chat. Damn you. Okay. So this link right here will give you access to this, which is exactly the step-by-step that you need to follow to create this, right? It's like 4 steps. You create the thing, the shape with the pen tool. You add inner shadows, right? It doesn't give you all the setups and everything, but still. And then you have the radial for the blur. That's a bit of a weird thing, but it works. And then once you have this, you're done. So it's a 4-step thing. So that's why I'm just sending you this specific one, because if you scroll a bit more, you will have access to more of the things that he did, and there is a lot of explanation that he like is pretty good at doing in very short tweet threads. And so like just follow what they are doing, and you will get better. And it's an easy thing. I mean, I think it's easy. And so if I go back a bit more up, we did this one as well, which was 3 shapes. So we have a shape for the tip, a shape for the body, and a shape for the flat side. Really simple to recreate. And then the shadow and everything will come with experience. Like you can see Maria, okay, I'm sorry. Maria tried to do the pen as well, and so she have like a bit of a more indented flat side and a more flat like butt of the pen, but it still looks good. Doesn't look perfect, and mine doesn't look perfect as well. Kane tried it as well. Same thing. Like the shadow is a bit more harsh than the original, but the original was made in 3D, so that makes sense. And so if you could just go back in here, you will see things that are a bit crazy and things that are pretty easy. I mean, that I believe are pretty easy. And just recreating these will help you to understand like how to use some of the tools that you have in Figma and all of that. And if you have any question in any of these things, do not hesitate to ask me or send me a message or whatever, or ask inside of the Discord to have access to it. And like this is the original thing, and this is the one that we recreated. So, right? Simple transition. All that. The movement is like just prototyping and everything. That in the beginning, learn from these things that we have. Like you have resources to create shadows and have the effect of indent, the effect of a bump. Like all of these things are very, very, very simple once you understand them, but they look complicated. They are absolutely not. That's the best thing, right? Like once you understand physics and how light works, which is around you at all times, right? The light is like bright here but not here, and then if I put my hand on top, you have shadows. So all of these things, when you understand like the physicality of the elements that you're trying to recreate, like reading this one is so easy. Like that's a 1.5 minute thing. Billy, hi, what's on in? That's Scott. How are you, Scott? Welcome on in. I've been pretty good. I've been tired. That's what happened. I've been tired. So let's do that in a quick thing. Neptune. It's like very simple. So you have this shape that is taking the same background color. It has a stroke. This stroke has this specific darkish color here, right? So I just select that. So far so good, we have nothing to worry about. In here, I have an effect that is a drop shadow. This drop shadow needs to be lighter. So instead of having it to be black, I make it white. I can either go inside and change it or whatever, right? Make it lighter. That's the base. And then I need another one to go on top, because this is also, physically speaking, a shadow. So it is a shadow, and it needs to go on top, -4. So far, so good. Let's say it needs to be a bit more blurred. So you do an 8 in blur and an 8 in blur here, right? So right now it looks like it's a divot, as you can see from your side. And then you want the highlight and shadow to have the button effect, which is basically the same things, but rather than being drop shadows, so I'm just selecting them, doing Command D to duplicating, rather than being drop shadows, they are inner shadows. And you change that to inner shadow and I'm done. Right? So it was a 2 minutes explanation. While explaining, I got the same effect. Meru, hi! Meru, welcome on in. How are you? How have you been? It's my day's going good. I mean, it's going okay, right? We were talking about physical recreation inside of flat software, which makes no sense to you. It will get better, yes. But yeah, so Neptune, you can see how things work, right? In like no time, I create this, and now it looks like it's indented in that background thingy. If I put it here, it doesn't work anymore because it's not the right color in the background. So let's say we have 2C here. The only thing I need to do is change my fill color to 2C, and now I have this with a very harsh highlight, but it works. And so you can go back in and just change the color of your highlight, make it a bit darker, right, to match with the level of highlight that you want to have. And now it's a button on the Figma canvas, and we're good with that, right? Could have this. Then in between, it works on both sections. It's simple. Also, for anyone here, I want to remind you that I make things look fucking easy. And it is, but it's because I know what I'm doing. So if you don't know what you're doing, you will have a bit more of a harsh time. Yeah. So, when we want to achieve this, the principle of recreation for lights and everything is exactly the same. So as I said earlier, the sphere in itself has this rim of light, and this is achieved with an inner shadow. It's the same thing. The highlight here will just be a layer on top, which is this one for now, with a gradient of brightish blue going to brightish blue at like 4%, but still have this like really interesting curve to it. So that's like playing with colors and playing with gradients and effect and all the things that you can do. You will, after a while, have the ability to do these things, which, as I say every time, it looks okay, right? It's just lines. I made this with just lines and fields and effects and shit. But that's just lines. When you think of it as just lines, it makes it look easier, and it makes it easier. a bit. I hope that helps. All of that to say, Neptune, don't be too intimidated by the thing that we have in the assignments. If you think you can't do it now, just try. Like this one, if you go on my shameless plug to myself, if you go on my Discord, on my Dribble, you can find this one. This one is a 3-piece, the 3 shapes creation. You have one that is here for the front, one that is here for the back, and one that is this weird thing in the middle for the underside. It's 3 creation of shapes, and then just because I know what I'm doing with colors and placement and blur and all that, you get this, which looks like paper, but it's not paper. It's flat. It's three fucking pieces of what? Yeah, 3 pieces of layers on Figma. So easy stuff. Right, back to our regular programming. But GVLA was writing code. Scott is not telling us what he's doing. Okay, I hope you're good. And Meruru is good. Good. Will you stream later? Are you streaming later? I guess yes. Scott, you came in. You air horn us, and then he didn't say anything. I don't think Melody will learn Figma, but quitting Day by Daylight will be a challenge. For sure. So I'm trying to get the order of layers. That's the green one, but then we have green and green and green, which makes no sense. So that's the outer blue. But yeah, no, Scott, I hope you're good. I hope your day was good. That's what I wanted to say, basically. Inner blue, and then that's the green inside, that's the dark blue here, that makes sense. We have a highlight, we have a banana, which is a highlight as well. And you're playing Day by Daylight right now. I see. Some people don't want to watch stream, but still stay in chat. I see. I don't care. I appreciate you lurking. And that's the rim bright. So I'm naming layers, which is not my usual thing, but that happens. Bon, ben, apparemment Scott m'a demandé de parler en français, donc on va parler en français pendant la prochaine minute, hein, voilà. Ça veut dire que personne ne comprend ce que je suis en train de dire, hein? Tabarnak. Non, that's not. C'est pas en français, c'est québécois. On ne peut pas parler québécois. Ce qui se passe le plus souvent, c'est que quand on me demande de parler en français, je sais pas quoi dire. Et du coup, si je sais pas quoi dire, Huh? It's difficult. Well. Je suis un croissant. Un vrai petit croissant. Pour l'instant. Scott. Est-ce que je peux parler japonais? Un peu. Pas vraiment. Un peu. Ça dépend des jours. On va dire ça. On va dire que ça dépend des jours. Et il y a des jours où c'est mieux que d'autres. Mais ce que Scott vient de dire, c'est plutôt juste. C'est pas juste, mais c'est plutôt juste. Il manque 2 lettres. Fine, thank you. Melly, thank you for the one point. What the fuck was I about to say? Yes, so no, for the Japanese thingy, I can speak a bit of Japanese, but I can't speak enough Japanese to make it make sense. So I personally don't like it, but not good enough yet. I'm not good enough yet. So, because am I about to do that? I may do that. That's okay. So I've selected all the lines, that's the thing, and then I just Shift X. Doesn't look like much right now, but what we have is the ability to make sure that all of our layers are in the right order and that they are good enough. So let's put them at like 10% opacity and make sure that what is the brightest, right, is on top. So this is the brightest. It seems to be achievable on top. We then have our dark, then have something that looks like our red. It's good. Then we have our yellow. Then we have this one, which is our dark blue, which shouldn't be here. So we should have our green here first, and then we have our inner light blue that comes on top, and then we have the dark blue, the outer, and then the bright rim, which is here. So that's good. And then we have the base ellipsis, and the outer blue will need to be trimmed, cropped, masked, even though I don't like to have it masked, but maybe a good idea for this one. However, we have the banana on the highlight that is right on top, so that's good. So if we take back all of these and we make it back to 100%, let's do that properly, shall we? So just using the base, our base thing, I just want to pick colors and see where it leads us. So we have one here, that is our yellow. Nathan, welcome back. It's green. White is green. Inner blue. That's not the blue that we wanted. Then we have outer blue, which is the same. And then we have in the middle darker blue, which is this. And then we have this bright rim right there, which is weird, which I guess should be at the same level as the highlights on top of everything. And the ellipse is the background. So let me duplicate this one, make this one a mask. The picture behind it, hide the picture, showcase this. So you mean for me? Do I have 1.2K? Not a 1.2 or 1.15. So, not yet good. Not yet. And most of them are bots, so we good with this. So we created this shape in flat design. Ta-da! That's kind of done. The thing that I want to have is the banana that is here has a weird bluish tint, right?
Meru_2 is now following.
Thank you for the follow, Meru. I believe I know who you are, but if I don't know, who are you? How did you find the stream? I want to know. So that's interesting. Overall, I still think this is weird, but yeah. It looks cool. It looks cool in flat, I have to say. I may be lazy and say we're done, but I don't think it's a good idea. It's you on a different computer? Yes, that's what I thought. So let's brighten a bit of our colors, right? Make them pop a bit more. And I love that. Let me just keep this as a flat version because I love it. I need a pee. That's the thing. So I'm gonna go pee and then we'll continue on this thing. Give me 2 minutes. Okay, we're back. That's a nice timing. Coming back exactly at 2 hours and 30 minutes of streams. That is a nice timing. So I love it in flat. I'm just gushing around this, but I love it in flat. What we want to do, thank you. What we want to do now is to have our colors closer to what we need. So what I'm seeing is this specific shape right here needs to have a radial, right? And our radial color needs to be going to that bright ass, darkish outer thing right there, right? But in the middle, we have a lighter here. So this rim exists and this exists here. So by doing that this way, maybe bringing back some of the darkish thing on one side or the other, right? By doing so, we get this dark shape right there, a bit stronger, which I think is pretty cool. We could have like a thing like this potentially with a bit more of a transition. But I'm guessing I'm lazy, which is absolutely true. Somehow that seems okay. Not good, but okay. There is also a lot of grain in the outer output of the 3D image, so we will need to add a blur on top, which I guess, you know what, let's add the blur now. Not the blur, sorry, the noise. Damn it. Oh no! Oh no! Okay, well, let's not add the blur now, the noise now, because it doesn't work. So we good with that? So let's do this one, which is basically the same radial thing, but instead of being right, comes here and then there, we have like something somehow 10 degrees to have like a bit of a sharp angle right there. I guess 12 maybe, not even. Somehow something like this, right, works. And then on top of that, it has like a bit of a darker thing, so I can like do that with a linear, make a linear thing right there. Instead of making black, you make it dark as blue. It's darkening the top section a tad, right? Just darkening it a bit. Might be too dark, but that's fine. Can deal with that later. So that's good, I guess. And then we have our red, which has a bit of a gradient. So we could just use the gradient and say, well, you're going from this dark ass red right there to this bright ass red right there. Make it a bit brighter and a bit more saturated because it's perceptive color. So move that here, move that here, and then figure out that a linear is not a good idea, which is what happens every time, and make it radial and reverse them. Make that there, make that here, move this here, and brighter, brighter, darker ish. Is it darker? Please. Like there, darker? Yeah, kinda. And so now this one, as you can see, is really blurred. It's blurred a bit. So I just add an effect of layer blur, and then let's see how much we need. So right now this fucking red thing knows me. Maybe 8 works, right? 8, 16 seems to work. I guess 8 is a good idea, meaning that this one, because looking at it, also have a bit of a blend. I also need a fucking layer blur at probably 4 to 8 to something. No, not in this stream. not in this stream. I wish. I wish, but no. But I wish. But no. It's no, it's since I think January or February, something like this. We made it, put it in place. I think January, somewhere around there, like end of last year, beginning of this one, and we said, you know what? I say fuck a lot. Which is true, and yeah, that's what happened. That's yeah, that is truth, absolute truth. Well, the yellow will be absolutely disgusting. How did you become that? And so we want this to be here, and we want this to be here, and that to be... Ugh, that's disgusting brown.
Tu peux être sûr que tu repars avec la bite dans un Tupperware.
Again. Welcome on in, Really Hungry Hedgehog. How are you? How was your day going? How was your day? How's your day? I don't fucking know. I hope you're good. It's a glorious insider joke, indeed. We agree. We agree. I mean, we are the only two that can understand it. So it is a real insider joke. For real, for real. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. It's way more bright here. Sorry. Just thinking like this. This. Really disgusting brown, sadly. We don't have a lot of choices. Ugh. Not enough blue. What you mean the Oh. What you mean? You were on your way to bed? Well, fine. Do you have like a planned vacation where you will go in a specific location? Or are you staying under the couch? Both are good. Yep, to staying under the couch, or... Or yep to something else? Go into a deep sleep for 3 weeks, that seems like a good idea. That seems like a good idea. I'm not gonna lie. I'm guessing these three here just need the effect. I think the color is good. Almost, yeah. What you mean? What? Why are you sending? How the fuck do I do that? No one's there. Are there people there? I don't see anyone. Oh. Seat reservation. What you mean seat reservation? It's my fucking house. Let me go in it on my Mac, because that will be way better. So that's on cyber.io with my thing. I think it's just because I'm not connected with my wallet, which makes a lot of sense, because it's not linked. I mean, it was linked, but they are saying the same shit. They are saying the multiplayer seat reservation expired. How the fuck did you have the multiplayer thingy? Like, how? Like on my own shit, I can't. What the fuck? It's my house. It's my stuff. Everything here is mine. You can enjoy them. What do you mean open the console? I don't think it's an error. I think, like, now I'm on multiplayer, but do you have... Oh, that's me. Okay. Which is weird. Sorry, there is sound on this one. And such a weird thing. Oh. Who's there? Is that you? Who said hey? How are you, Kane? What is this? What is this address? Why do we have so many people in the same thing now? Oh shit. How do I get rid of this? And why do we all have the same profile picture? Makes no sense. But yeah. Interesting. That I didn't know that we had live views things, and only I will click on the console thingy, which I'm guessing is this, but I don't know what it is. Interesting. Shit. I'm looking at the I don't know who is the third one. Nonetheless, we are looking at the thing that... How do you fucking jump? With spacebar? Oh yeah, you can bunny hop, kinda. It makes my computer go... Bleh. Oh shit. This is weird. You can't see chat on this side. And by the way, Kane, can you see my name, or can you just have, like, nothing? You see my name? Interesting. I didn't expect this to be the case. Interesting. I don't know how I feel about it. I might go out of this. What is this? I think. I think I need to click on that link somewhere else. Is it here? Is it there? Oh, Millie is in. Ow. How is that a thing? That's not the thing, that's the thing. That's a good looking loader, Kane. I like that. But my Mac is just crashing right now. It's just freaking out. Oh, we stopped at 69 for a second. Oh, nice. This is... Oh yeah, I've seen this one. What the fuck? You can go through walls? Okay. So weird. Bruh. That's too much sound, too much stuff. There is too much stuff. It's just weird to use the mouse to rotate for me. They have an interesting thing. My computer is just crashing out. I'm telling you. Did you know I almost... Yo, shush. Audio thing. Shut up. It is... Can we jump? We can jump! Oh, yeah, because it's just game engine for everyone. Yeah. The thing is... Oh, fuck, this fucking thing. I hate the fact that you need to grab and scroll to move around. Makes no sense to me. As a non-gamer person, right? I'm used to... Can I jump out and die? No, can't do that. Fuck. There are things in there that I'm sure they are not iconic, as in... Can I go through? I can't go through. Fuck me. I go through these? No, I can't. Damn it. It's just reversed. It makes no sense. Sorry. And I fall down? No. So Axie Infinity is not... I mean, it is an iconic mint, but... Can I fall down? Can I fall down? Oh no, shit. It looks good. The thing with Cyber, the one where I have my stuff, is it's free unless you want to pay for a better gallery, in which case you get a more like cool looking interior. Can you fucking go faster, please? I want. So pissed. You could, if I remember correctly, Cyber used to let you create your own thing in the beginning, but now I don't know if it's available. Oh, it's this one. Yes. I know this one. Similar to what Seke created, it's just absolutely unplayable on my Mac, sadly. But yeah, that's a pretty good thing. Overall, in terms of NFTs and gallery things, I have one of the oldest ones that you can see on my Behance. My NFT things right there, if they load. Like all of the things that I created are here, but I also have, for some reason, other things that popped in for no apparent reasons, but also in my assets right there. Oh no, it's the NFT is just on the NFT is just on OpenSea. Yes. Oh, it's... What is this? Right? What did I say? I have a ton of shit though. I have a lot of them that were just gifted to me. But all of these, all of my crypto keys are some of the oldest NFT that exist. And at the time, it wasn't even called NFTs, which makes a lot of sense because it shouldn't be called an NFT anyways. But I have weird things. Are they available? I don't even know if I put some things on sale. I think it didn't. Yeah. It just died. It was a good looking foil though. Look at this. Melly, if you're playing with 3D, these are really interesting things to do. I don't know if your computer can handle that. Did you do the water thingy? As you said? This took me... I think this one took me a day. Just because at the time I didn't have the best GPU and the render time was just no good. This is so this specific thing is extremely simple. We are derailing the official way of things, but the way that you do this is you create a new plane, right? You stretch it in whichever direction you want, right? And just all transform all that shit. And then you go in and you subdivide it, which I forgot the key at the moment. Is it C? No, it's not C. Shit. Yes, that's the thing. You add like a bunch of vertices. And then you do another one in the other way to have more points. And then once you have this, right, that's fine. You just add a particle close, that's all. And then you let the physics do the thing. So you just need to rotate it in the Y, not in the Y, sorry, in the X, and right there. You move it up. And if you want to have the effect that I did, you just make it rotate on the X again, but like a tad, so that you can't see shit right now, but that it's just dropping down, right? So far, so good. So that's regular physics. And then if you want to, you just add a shape, I guess like a sphere would be interesting. You make it somehow here, make it collide with the element. You do so it's not visible in the output of your render, so that it'll just collide with the thing. And you just add shit. You just add a new like plane, for example, and make it like 16. And you make it collide as well, and no visible in the output, and you just do that. So it will do this weird thing, right? So that's okay. And so it did like 140 frames in no time, so that's good. And so what you do is here you take your close, you make it smooth, and then you take your modifier here and you add a subdivision to make the thing a bit better. I mean, make the thing a bit better, right? It doesn't mean anything to you for sure, right? It looks more like cloth. It has a bit of an issue in terms of how the thing behaves, but right, that's the base. So let's say this is the frame that we want to use. So you go into the material view, and then right now I will just hide the plane and the sphere and make sure that my light is on the right side so that I can just highlight the thing, and it just make it, as Mehdi said, a nice material. So right now the material that I want would be, knowing me, bright bluish, and then roughness would be roughness at 0 and transmission 100%, and then we just need to change from EV to cycle and make sure that the world around us is pure black, and then let's make that here. Take our material there, add a roughness of like 0.2 potentially, so it have a bit of a tint. And if we want like an interesting how can I say that? An interesting reflection, I use the RGB ones, and then I just do an RGB lights. So you do RGB is maybe a bit too big. So it creates this weird I forgot. It's fine though. It's this one. Create this iridescent type of material, which I kind of like. And so it's not really oil, because you can do oil with nodes, and I'm just done with nodes now. But when you do this, you take your lights and then you can amplify specific ones. So let's say you want less red, you can put that at 500, or you want more red, you can put that at 2K. So it's a more reddish tint thingy. And then overall, right, you have your material now that will just make everything go extremely slower. So you can go into the other version, and then you find a frame that you think is interesting. Just go in to the reflection and find the right thing. Right now, the main issue with this foil thingy is it pinches itself. So right here, it goes into each other. So in terms of the stiffness and tension and everything that you have in the physics of the closed simulation, you need to make sure that the intersection or the collision with itself, like the self collision is the thing that you want to have, is like the distance of, I don't know, if it's closer to a certain amount of distances between 2 points of the same thing, then it breaks. So you do that, and then when you have this enabled, it creates this more smooth, bendy-ish type of material, which is more interesting to create, right? And it looks more natural than the previous one. And so then you can change everything in here. What I like to do, however, is once I have this that is like done and good, I do into the modifier, instead of the subdivision, I add a new one, which is the how is it fucking called? Of course, when I'm telling that, I can't find it. Solidify, that's the thing, damn it. And so you solidify the thickness a bit, meaning that the material itself is now thicker. And so by doing that, you get a bit of a more interesting outcome in your texture. And so now, for example, my camera is not placed properly, so let's lock camera to view so that we can move up, get something that is more interesting. So let's find a thing that is, like, let's say this is interesting, right? And then you just render the frame. And you wait. And it does this for hours and hours and hours until until it's clean. So you get this really interesting thing. The material, damn it, that scared me. Thank you. The material thing is what's most important. Right now we should be playing with this on the PC, not on the Mac. Like, I'm killing my Mac at the moment. But right now, all of these things that you can't really see because it's tiny, like what I love to play with is the transmission roughness rather than the roughness itself. So giving back the full shiny thing and then bumping the transmission roughness. Transmission roughness means the inside of the element has a bit of an opaque thing, meaning that it's shiny on the outside but diffusing the light inside of the material. So when you have this, you get these very cool looking like oily thing. You can see that at the top right here, have this diffusion inside. So that's really, I mean, that's what I love to play with when I play with material. Doesn't mean it's the right thing, right? But it's something that I love to do. So you said wide. You said wide. She said wide. I did 3. I think I did 3. I could be able to do them from here without changing scene. That's true. Maybe later. So yeah, if you want to make stained glass and all these nice looking things, I mean, I'm very impressed by the render of the clothes simulation, to be honest. Usually it takes way longer than this. That's interesting. It's pretty cool. If we go, let's see, did that work? Can I do that? The stream might break a bit. So, on the other side, now that I'm on the PC, if you want to play with materials, right, I'm playing with cycle because cycle is best, but right, that's, you decide. Does that break my... Oh yeah, that break the camera. Heavily break the camera. Interesting. It didn't last time, but that's fine. Is the sound still good? That's the main question. But you have things available in these which are real-time material, right? And so in here you can create dirty glass, and now it's applied to the thing. Probably breaking at the moment. Yes, I am breaking at the moment. And you have dirty glass. It's really interesting to have this break the stream. But yeah, you have things like this that exist that are pretty useful and don't make you need to learn how to do materials. Not that you shouldn't, but right, you can skip it if you want to. That was the Blender intermission. Thank you for the pull-ups, by the way. They are starting to get much easier now, so that's good. Appreciate that. Appreciate that a lot. Have a good look. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you stopping by. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy your phone battery not dying. And take care of yourself. And we'll see you soon. Bye. Nice. So I'm thinking this needs to be slimmer-ish here. And maybe this one. Oh no, this one. Slimmer here. Yeah. That's good. That's good. That's better than the other one, though. Better than what we did earlier. So that's, I'm happy with that. Also, on another note, something that I didn't talk about, I've been watching some weird thing on YouTube lately, which, when I'm saying that, it sounds weird, but actually it's not. It's just interesting. So I've been watching some Japanese renovation, like wooden house renovation videos, and it's really interesting to see how different it is compared to like what we have in France, but also what I know from the US and how like houses are made with nothing in the US because cost is everything, and they want to make sure that it's the cheapest thing that will fall down with the first tornado in order for you as the consumer to buy a new one. Right? But yeah, in Japan it's like they are creating these wooden houses that are seismic seismically like founded and don't fall down if there is like an earthquake or anything, but it's still in fucking wood. I mean, wood and metal with bolts and nails and everything, but it still blows my mind that it can still sustain like the thing that they say it can sustain. It's really interesting. So yeah, that's my latest-ish type of YouTube video. My entire feed currently is in like Japanese, almost. So it's really interesting. And not that I don't like it, right? Oh shit, it's not same blues. Fuck me. You know, it's pretty interesting. Been watching this, and also there is another thing that I've been watching, but it's different. That's not true. What is the other thing that my YouTube is filled off right now? Not YouPorn, YouTube. I said, sorry, it's just force of habit. Oh, I'm not on the right thing. That's why. Oh yeah, Among Us stuff coming back slowly. But yeah, this guy is really interesting. The thing that is blowing my mind is that this is the guy that I'm watching currently. And I don't know how old he is. It doesn't look like a very young person, I'd say. And I mean, this video right here is just not making any sense. It's just like thanking viewers. But the thing that he's doing, I mean, this one is like a tour explanation, I guess. Trying to find something that he created. So it goes from start to finish most of the time, and sometimes you have multiple videos. It's a one-man, or at least what the video seems to make me think, it's a one-man operation where he has someone who films him, which is a younger person most of the time, but most of the wooden thing is made by himself. And sometimes when things are heavy and he needs to move them around, he just like have someone else to help. But it's just showcasing what he's doing and making sure that like he creates all the thing, make sure that everything is on point, placed correctly, with the level of like, how can I say that? Accuracy that you can expect from a team of whatever. I mean, it looks amazing, and the outcome every time is like. Now I'm thinking, if I'm buying a house in Japan and I want it to be built, I want that guy to be the one who make it. Like, it looks amazing. I would just be behind him, lurking and learning all the time. I don't know, it's just amazing. I love that. So I've been seeing this one, and there is another YouTube channel that I've been watching, which is also from Japan, where it's a couple, so it's a guy and a girl who are working together for renovation of old wooden house, and it's the same thing. They are like 2 person, and they do the whole entire house almost on their own, unless there are things that they don't know how to do, like electrical or things like that are very specific. But most of it is just made by 1 or 2 person. Look at that fucking deck. That looks amazing. Like, I'm sure if I was to nail the planks, knowing me, there is probably 1 or 2 that are on the side. Probably. 1 or 2, if not more. So, I don't know. I like this. And also he speaks with a very interesting a Japanese voice, which is really interesting to me. It's not a regular speech pattern, so it's interesting. And they have subtitle in Japanese, which makes me learn more Japanese throughout the day, which I like. So, yeah, detail stuff. That was a bit of a derail. Again, sorry. So what the fuck was I about to do? This. So this one here, we need to have a bit of a weird thing. It has like a gradient, and it has a lot of things going on. So let's linear this through this color to this color here, right? So base thing, make that bright as fuck halfway through here. Remember that you should have used the radial again, because you're a dumb fuck and you forget everything. And then put that here, make it transparent for now. That's a basic thing. I kind of want to have bright yellow in here at the base right there, and another white here, just as a starter, right? So we have like this outer glow type of thing right there. I kind of want to have this same thing here. So it's brighter, let's make it bigger. Right, so that's one way of doing things. As always, doesn't mean it's the right way, it's just what I found as easy to extend a bit of highlight for things. You just make the shape a bit bigger compared to the blur amount. And then if you want it to really be brighter, you just duplicate the shape all along and make the blur less intensive and the color a bit brighter, and then here you make that slimmer. And then if you really want a weird thing, you can do like a radial with the center to be extremely white or like very bright blue, and then this one to be brightish here, not British, brightish, and you get this really good looking highlight right there. Details. Details. So we have this bright thing there, which I don't know why. I'm guessing it's because my under like outer blue here should be somehow more visible, but it's not. So I don't know why we have this white here. What is this? My question, is it you? Oh yeah, it's you. Fuck me. That's the reason. So let's do that. Make it blue. There is something weird right there. That's something that don't work. Oh, it's you. I don't know who you are and what you do, but it's not... You're not welcome. Not right there. What are we thinking so far? I'm thinking that because I'm starting to be sleepy. I guess my bright red is not bright enough here. That's the first thing. We don't have enough yellow. So we could brighten up this. Broaden up this. And then the green seems to need to flood to the top. And I'm thinking it needs to be slimmer on this side. Same thing for our blue right here. I'm guessing a bit. So green gets slimmer here. At the bottom we are good. So that's a start. I'd say the outer here needs to be brighter, but also here. Right, that's basically it. Right there, but brighter. And then we can have like an overlay, a pass of an overlay on top of everything to make sure that the darkness that we have here comes on top. I'm guessing that's a good idea. So this one, because we didn't do it, because we are dumb, or because we forgot, needs to be that fucking color here. And then this one, transparent. Right, so here to here, brighten up there, darken up here. That's the inner side right there, so just brighten up here. It's a tiny difference, I guess. I don't exactly know how to explain this one. Let's take our bananas, move them in a bit. Yes, they are called bananas. They look like bananas, they are called bananas. They're not bright enough. I'm guessing they're not sharp enough. Better, but still. Curve. It's a bit annoying that I can't see shit of what I'm doing while I'm editing the points. Not a good look for Figma, but that's fine. I guess we're good. I need the bananas to be in a group and rename it banana. That way it can always be on top, right? That's the way. If I really wanted to trick the thing and make sure that it will always be on top, I just check the fixed position when scrolling, meaning that it will always be in a section that is above everything, making it like really hard for anything else to get on top of it. So that's a tiny trick that I use from time to time. And then here what I want to do is duplicate this and go on top. And so here, as you can see, the highlight is still here. And so here what I want to do is get this to be our weird shape. So the shape in itself is basically on its side. So we can go here like so, and then take this point here, delete it. You know what? Keep it and bring that inside. And so here, can do that shape right there, minimizing the point. We don't give a shit about it honestly because it will just be blurred after all. And also my screen is getting yellow. I haven't noticed it in the last minute. So that's much better. So getting back to work right here, right? So I'm getting my point in a bit. That one is a bit weird, but that's fine. And then the color that we want is this one, darker, and then have that with a linear gradient from fully dark here to potentially transparent around here, right? To get like this this transition. Make that a bit darker, a bit darker as well. And then it kind of looks like fish eyes, I agree. And then add the effect of layer blur, which is what we have added everywhere to give this blurred effect thingy on top. So if I get rid of it, right, just create this interesting shape right there, and then I can just go and play with transparency to still see through, basically. And so one thing that I know is that my rim highlight needs to be above it, and then I need to fix my highlights everywhere. But I'm guessing for a first day thing, that's pretty okay. It's not that good. I'm looking at the PC screen because it's tinier than this one. I see all the details here. I want to see from further away. So I'm getting the rim to be blurred. So let's do that quickly. So if we highlight the rim like so, we get like a bit more physical, and then we are missing the highlight here and the highlight here. So these two are basically just oval shapes, right, that you place under everything, like let's say here. So this one is a yellowish green, so it's about this color or this color, or maybe we could even do like a linear gradient going from this to this, right? So this one would be that yellow, that yellow, and this one would be that green. And then what we do is we make sure that they are under everything, and you add a layer blur to create that shape, so you can then move it in a bit and potentially like resizing it to give it a bit more like curve. And so right now what I'm seeing is it's not bright enough, so I will just do my best to highlight these. We get our tiny highlight here. So that is Shine, I guess. That would be the name of that thing right there. So You can then place it a bit better if you wanted to make it bigger. And then we have the same one about here. And this one is more yellow than green, so I can change the orientation. Place it there. Right? I guess I don't like this. 60, 40%, 60% seems okay. So we are missing a bit of a tint. There is a tint of a pink right here in the refracted color on the right side. We may do that the next time. It has more glow overall, specifically here, because we broaden this blue thing to create that. It is more glowy than the original, but I think for Figma thing we are pretty accurate on the first run. It's brighter here. I don't know how I could do that without brightening the thing. Yeah, nah, I think we're good for today. Yeah, that is PNG. I hope that works though. Otherwise I will do a screenshot. But what are we thinking? On my phone it looks a bit more... Oh, it looks not updated. Yes, true. Did it work? Yes, it did. Okay, good. A lot of things. Yes, I guess it's pretty nice. Let's see when that's happening. I don't understand internet right now. I don't know if it's on my side or if it's something else, but internet is trash. I don't understand. It's fine though. It's fine. Yes. Good. From far away, from what we are seeing right now, it looks pretty cool. It looks pretty good. Alright. Alright. So, let me... do that. So, as always, thanks a lot for being here. We are rating mail, as we do on Tuesday from time to time. So, if you're new here, feel free to follow the channel if you enjoy your stream, or the stream. If you enjoyed the stream so much that you were like, yeah, I want more of that, you can join the Discord. That's an option. I share a lot of articles and resources for you to like get better at being a designer overall, and you have direct access to me So direct help is always appreciated, whether you have direct help here. But if you want to follow the social media, you can click on the second link. If you are a sub, this is the raid message for subs. If you are not a sub, this is the raid message for non-subs. Copy whichever you want. You can copy both and do a mix and match if you wanted to. That's an option. And yeah, as always, if you want to support me in another way than giving money to Amazon, you can support me with Gumroad by buying one of my $2 thing or one of my $32 thing. And if you want to support me expensively, you can buy my NFT, which are fucking expensive, and I don't recommend you to buy them because, right, expensive. But yeah, on that note, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I will be back not tomorrow, because tomorrow is Wednesday, so I will be back on Thursday at 4:30 p.m. UTC, and we'll do something. I don't know what, but yeah, we'll see. Enjoy, take care, I see you, bye.